I think part of it too is that some artists look at us as a bit of a liability because they consider us to be too well researched, too, you know, knowledgeable about what they might have going on. And then there are things that stem from that. Whereas, like, if they go on Shannon Sharp, they know I don't want to say it's going to be a total softball interview, but a lot of the stuff, you know, Shannon Sharp doesn't know who your ops are. Realistically, Vlad and Adam are going to do enough research that we figure out who you beef with. And if we don't talk about it, it's because we artfully decided not to talk about it. And for a lot of these dudes, they don't really want to do an interview that's going to have that level of introspection into their lives and careers, and it kind of can fuck up relationships too. I interviewed Lil Durk in 2018. Me and you both have like done content with him, had a cool relationship, and then it fell apart at a certain point.
But why did your relationship fall apart?
I feel like we just didn't talk after we did the interview in 2018. Keep in mind his career was not necessarily in like the hottest place at that time. And then I feel like we just interviewed a bunch of people who either were his direct ops or just maybe had things to say about him that weren't the best, you know, doing the weekly podcast where we just talk about all the different drama and everything that people have going on. I feel like he probably at a certain point began to feel like, you know, why would I go on this podcast if they're interviewing people that I specifically don't get along with, and not just big names that he doesn't get along with, but just whoever. Like, you know, we've done such deep content into Chicago that we're interviewing people that realistically probably don't have a ton going for them aside from, you know, beefing with bigger name rappers in Chicago. And I feel like that can kind of close doors on you. But I guess my overall question is, when you look at the position that Durk is in now, I feel like me and you are both people that had cool relationships with him, and then the relationship fell apart over things that we consider kind of petty. And especially when I look at why you guys fell apart, which for the audience, if you don't know, Vlad accidentally included a clip of Durk talking about the fact that he was about to have a baby in an episode. He told you to edit it out. You forgot to edit it out, or forgot to tell your editor to edit. Your editor forgot to take it out.
Forgot to edit it out. Yeah.
Right.
We told them to edit it out, and then they asked. We edited out part of it, but they wanted more edited out.
Right. Oh, okay.
And by the time we got to the rest of it, they felt it took us too long. But that to me was sort of silly because it's like we've been around each other. We've had conversations off camera. You know, I have no bad intentions for you.
Right. And to me, that's just some big-headed superstar rapper shit. Yeah. I'm going to beef with you for 10 years over the fact that your editor forgot to take out an extra 15 seconds of the interview, whatever.
Well, and it was about an upcoming baby. It wasn't even about like, oh yeah, I'm dissing my ops dead grandmother, like, and I really needed it out.
Right. It's not life or death.
Whatever. Yeah. It's like, all right, the baby announcement came a little too soon, but you know that's not what we're even known for. We're not like Shade Room that's doing, like, our audience doesn't care about baby announcements.
Yeah, our audience, yeah, exactly.
Really
that's not really our thing anyway. Yeah, that's not the thing that's going to go viral.
But on 2 different songs, he's like, Vlad.
Yeah.
Just like, really, on 2 album songs, you got to say Vlad over that? Like, come on, man. Like you're letting your fame kind of cloud your judgment. Like, I'm not your op. I've never said anything about you at all derogatory, ever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even with the Vlads, I still didn't say it. You would think at one point you'd be like, you know, actually, no, this guy's cool. This guy was actually looking out for me when no one else was.
Right.
He was giving me a platform when I couldn't get a play. He used to tweet me so I would make articles on his tweets.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, to go from that to Vlad on 2 songs, like, I'm not even talking about freestyles, like actual album songs.
Yeah.
It was kind of just like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, and it's just kind of bizarre to see that, because it's like there's a time in your career where you're not doing so hot and you want to do interviews, you want to get blog posts, you want to get content, and then all of a sudden you feel like you're on top of the world, and so you feel like you don't need anybody. You have your pick of who you want to do interviews with. Cool, I totally get it. But now you're in a situation that is not so admirable, that I'm sure you're not so terribly happy with. But do you feel like people have kind of accused you of this, of being a little bit too gleeful, or at least not upset about discussing Durk's current predicament?
Well, but that's not about Durk saying Vlad.
That's just his behavior in general. You're kind of disappointed by some of the decisions he made?
I just felt that once I saw the story of